Welcome back, guys, for another Garage Gamers Gamebug video lounge room / my bedroom gamers episode. This time it's going to be a review discussion, and you'll find out why I say the word discussion and not just simply review. So I'm going to be talking about, which you can barely see, Dragon's Crown Pro on the PS4, clearly running on the PS4 Pro. Otherwise, what's the point? So, to start off, this game is basically a remaster of the PS3 game Dragon's Crown, and now it's called Dragon's Crown Pro because you can run it in native 4K. And I will say, I mean, you can see a little bit. I'm going to put it in some footage so you can see clearly, but it does look amazing. The artwork is really crisp and everything shines through really nicely. There is some very odd character designs though in this game. I don't know if you can see that, but they're very muscular and kind of grotesque looking, especially the Amazon woman, who's just got muscles and bulges everywhere, and you know, there's guys in the game that are just tiny heads, huge balding shoulders, and they kind of look a bit grotesque, to be honest. But you know, it's kind of nice having something different, you know, for a change, instead of all the characters looking the same. So, the reason that I'm saying this is just a general discussion and not a full-blown review is a controversial one. Now, firstly, I didn't finish the game, and that's because I couldn't actually bring myself to playing it through to the end. And that doesn't happen a lot, because usually, you know, we try to cater for reviews based on, you know, styles of gameplay that people like. So, you know, for Dark Souls and stuff like that, we'd give it to Ice Cube. Migs loves, you know, the Overwatch and that sort of stuff. Trixan, you know, she loves a bit of everything. But I grew up playing these beat-em-ups, you know, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Final Fight. I loved beat-em-ups. I don't know. I just thought that I would really dig this. I saw all these reviews, you know, for the previous version, you know, I think it was like 88 out of 100 on Metacritic. So going into this, I was like, this is for me. I, for some reason, couldn't find it to buy back when it was on the PS3, and, you know, I was just sort of thought, oh, I'll get it eventually. And then I never did, and then this popped up, and I was like, perfect, this is great for me. This is the perfect time to play it. You know, it's going to look as good as it can ever look. And yeah, it was just really cool, and like, it was really cool to be able to grab it and jump into it until I started playing it. And then I was like, I don't know if the previous reviews had overhyped it for me, but I feel that I just expected a lot more when I started playing it. And when I played it, I just thought, okay, well, I'll try to take that out of my head. And so, you know, I was playing it and I was thinking, okay, this is starting off really slow. Tutorial's boring. And I'm playing single player at the time, by the way, so keep that in mind. And I just felt like the animations were a bit sluggish, like there wasn't much to them. It's not, you know, it's nothing like Cuphead where it's just fluid, beautiful animation. It's very stiff. I felt like the gameplay was very slow. Everything felt slow-paced. There's something about, like, I like the art style, but something about it that the character models, the way they move on screen and interact, it just, something was missing. Something felt very stiff, very awkward. And I found like there was a lot of collision detection issues where, not issues as in like you've swung your axe and you've hit them even though they're nowhere near you. Quite the opposite, where I found like I was directly in their path, thrown a fireball, doesn't hit them. You know, you have to be dead on. And it's just frustrating because when you're trying to hit several enemies and you're throwing fireballs and you're just missing half the time, and then, I don't know, it just... I think I came to the conclusion that playing it single player just wasn't the way that this game should be played. So I got Trixan to play it a bit, and I got her to play it single player for a bit, and she, you know, also felt the same. Like, it's very grindy, it's very slow paced. it doesn't feel good as a single player game. I mean, there's obviously people out there who love it, and I'm sure there's people out there who've played it solo. But I feel like this is a game that the more people you have playing, the better. So I feel like if you're playing 3 to 4 people at the same time, I think you'd have a good time, because you could sort of manage the enemies, and you wouldn't have that issue where you're trying to hit certain things and it's just, you're not lining up properly. So I really feel like playing 3 or 4 players would be better. Even 2-player I found not so great, just because I feel like the environments are very squished, and you've only got a limited amount of space to sort of fight, and I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. It honestly felt like a chore trying to play it, and I hate having to say that, but that's how it felt, and I rarely feel like that with a game. I don't know why it didn't click for me. So, I mean, on the positive side of things, I don't want to be all negative, but I wanted to give my honest opinion, and that's why I don't want to give it a score, because I didn't play enough to give it a score. I played enough until I could just not be bothered playing anymore. And just like TV series, if a game doesn't hook you within the first few hours, like, let's be honest, it's not gonna get you. I mean, sometimes it might, but it becomes a thing of, do I want to waste my time, which is precious, just slogging away at something that could potentially get a bit better, or do I just want to move on to something else? And unfortunately, I gave it a couple of hours. I think I put like 3-4 hours, and it just wasn't for me, and I just couldn't do it. And I got Trixan to play it. I got a second opinion. I don't know. Maybe we're clearly in the minority here, but I just thought I'd be honest about that. So some of the positives, obviously, is it looks amazing. The visuals are really great. I like the art style is very quirky, different. And it's typical Vanillaware. They do like Odin Sphere, and I had one of the games, I think it was Muramasa or something like that on the Wii. That was, I didn't mind that. It was a bit bland, but I did prefer that. So, if anyone can't even talk today, but if anyone has played their games, you kind of know what to expect. Just a hack and slash with RPG elements. But yeah, if you're looking for something couch co-op, this is definitely a good game to have. The soundtrack, they've done it an orchestral version, which sounds great. The soundtrack is amazing. Like, I will give it 10 out of 10 for that, because it's fantastic. There's a lot of varied levels and, things like that. So it's got a lot of pluses. It's just, let's be honest, it's just not for me. And sometimes that happens. And it's a shame, because I was really interested in playing it. But yeah, what I will leave you on is, for those who've got it and enjoy it on PS3, if you're getting it on PS4, if you don't have a 4K TV or a PS4 Pro, it's no point. It'll just look as good, maybe a tiny bit better. It ran fine on the PS3, as I've been told, and as I've seen videos of it, looks fine. I don't see much of a difference. Obviously, it only caters for the 4K, and if you really want those orchestrated versions of the tracks. So, yeah, I mean, for people who've never played it, you can take my word for it, or you can read the bajillion of reviews that say it's amazing. I just wish, I don't know if there's a demo for it, but I really hope there is, because it's one of those games I would say, please try it before you buy it, because, I don't know how you're going to feel about it. So anyway, that's enough babbling on about it for me. Yeah, as I said, I'm not going to give it a score, because I don't want to give a score on something I haven't put enough time into. But anyway, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think about the game in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, do all that nonsense. Thank you guys. Bye!